Justin Trudeau, the prime minister, is really describing it as this really big, like, insurrection. That's the term that's been kind of floating around. In fact, I have a video montage of people calling it an insurrection.
Oh, is that right?
Actually, you want to see it?
Let's see it, yeah.
Some of the organizers of this protest, which, as I mentioned, started more than a week ago, they do want to overthrow the government.
Canadian officials calling the situation a, quote, nationwide insurrection.
The police chief says COVID protests are a, quote, nationwide insurrection driven by madness.
A nationwide insurrection driven by madness.
Just think of the language. I know it sounds familiar to you, right? A threat to democracy, an insurrection, sedition.
The police say that they are under-resourced and they are overwhelmed. They have said that this city is under siege.
It's not just truckers. There's a lot of, I've heard there's QAnon supporters in the crowd.
Residents that I have spoken to who say they feel terrorized, intimidated.
It's a cult.
What cracks me up is just that these left-leaning news organizations, they use this verbiage, like it's a marketing campaign,
right? And they use it's like they're all the same network because they use they have the same writers, the same, that's how they paint a picture for everybody, and the sheep will swallow it up.
Yeah. Well, if you look at actually the news coverage of it, it's so funny. Do you remember the videos that were taken by CNN, and in the background was like everything was on fire, and then the CNN reporter says it's basically it's a civil
like not much was going on here. Yeah.
I don't remember his exact words, but he made it seem like it wasn't that big of a deal.
Yeah.
and you look at these truckers, and they're being noisy. And their vehicles are just sitting there.
Right.
But you can see there's no violence.
There was a sign that nobody was even holding.
But they have their families with them, their kids with them,
right.
And it's relatively peaceful.
Well, and they're just saying they want freedom.
Yeah. Stop with the lockdowns.
They're not like walking around with firearms and shooting them up in the air and
Molotov cocktails.
Yeah. It's nothing like I don't know what we've seen in Portland, Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
This is a Canadian's way to get violent, I guess. I guess that might be their angle, is that for the Canadians this is outrageous, which it kind of is, but not in a violent way that they're trying to portray it.
Well, I just think it's ironic that the truckers are now giving kind of the government what they've been dealing out,
right?
Because the truckers are creating restrictions. There's restricted flow of commerce now because they're just sitting there, and that's exactly what the government did to them. Is they basically said, we're going to shut everything down in the name of public health,
right?
And now the truckers are kind of doing it in reverse. How does it feel, government?
Yeah. Thanks for listening to the shortened version of our show.
If you want to catch the full audio episode, you can find it here or wherever you find your podcast. But if you want to see the full version in video format, you can catch us on YouTube, Rumble, and now on Spotify.